It is time to meet Clifton.
With your host, Ray Grabowski.
Here's Ray.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Meet Clifton. You know, it's amazing how quickly summer's gone and fall is upon us. These years go quicker and quicker. Actually, as you get older, they even seem to go faster. But I guess that's how life goes. We have some really good guests tonight, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Tonight's guests are founder of the Albion Civic Association, Alias Ragsdale, Director of Nursing, Kelly Ryan, Assistant Superintendent of Schools, Mark Gengaro, Chewy, featuring the music of Swingman and the Misfit Mutt. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another episode of Meet Clifton.
Okay, I'd like to welcome my first guest, Mr. Alias Ragsdale. He's the founder and chairman of the Albion Civic Association. So, Alias, pleasure. Thanks for coming on.
Sure.
As of right now, there was never been an Albion Civic Association. And actually, I had spoken to Alias a while back, and he asked me how the ABA got started and that he wanted to do something in the Albion section. And ironically enough, he's here today, and he is doing something about it. So tell me, what is the Albion Civic Association?
Sure. So the Albion Association it's really a community guild, a neighborhood group dedicated to kind of serving the residents of Albion, really just to enhance communication, protect the community's interest kind of thing. I think community is a big thing. So if we can, create an organization that engages all members, has fun events, especially in Albion where there's a lot of young families, our staples being, School 5, Albion Park, then I think that's something we should do. So that's what I'm trying to get started.
And now, do you have an initial focus?
Right now, we're focusing on kind of setting up a committee, dedicated people who have the time to really volunteer. Right now, it's made up of myself, a fellow high school student, Judy Bassford, who's on the Board of Education and has been active in Albion for a long time, a parent of multiple kids who go to School 5, and a community member. So once we get that started, hopefully we can get started as early as maybe mid-October with some kind of event to start off.
So when you put this together, are you going to have some type of mission statement? How are you going to sell this? Let's just put it that way.
So far, I personally have gone to at least 200 homes, knocking on doors, kind of just going up and down streets, letting people know. One of the biggest ways to outreach, especially now, is social media. So our Facebook is Albion Civic Association. We've been able to engage that, the community groups that have already been set up on Facebook to really reach out to people, and people have enjoyed it. We post updates about what we're doing, how we're doing, and kind of what our status is, just so that everyone's in the know, and to keep everyone updated eventually for when we do have an event of some sort.
Okay, so like the ABA, and I don't want to bring this up, but we have a lot of functions that we try to raise money, and maybe for scholarships for students. We have different fairs and fun. Are you planning on doing any of this type of stuff? Help out the community?
So of course we're still in our beginning stages right now. But I mean, of course, like I said, we have a lot of young families in Albion. There's a lot of kids, especially with School 5 being right there. Kids Lounge. There's childcare programs at the local church. So hopefully events for children kind of thing. We have Albion Park at our disposal. Hopefully School 5. So of course we plan on holding events, but of course that'll come,
Yeah, of course.
as things go.
Right. Things like this, very important. Associations, a lot of sections of town have them, some had them, and still should be resurrected. But Albion is a big area of town. Like you said, you have parks, recreation areas, a lot of churches, houses of worship. So why do you think, I know you wanted to start this, but why do you think it's so important for these associations to exist?
Sure. Like I said, we have a lot of young families, and I know personally, I've grown up in Clifton. I've come to love Clifton. So I think that if we can start an organization that's focused on the community, getting to know your neighbors, being active in your town, with your neighbors in your park, in your school, then we should absolutely do it. And this kind of organization, if we can get kids involved, get parents involved, it's just great for everyone and it benefits all of us.
Right. And I think associations like this bring communities together.
Absolutely.
And with the togetherness comes safety. And I'm sure you're thinking about that too. People are together, you have neighborhood watch type of thing. People, they know their neighbor. So with all of this, and I know you're new, so let's put a pitch out there to see how do we get residents to get involved.
Sure. So our Facebook, like I said, is Albion Civic. You can also reach us by email at Albion Civic Association, all one word, @gmail.com. Like I said, we're on Facebook. You can find us and speak to any of us. Soon enough, we'll be posting flyers, things of that sort, and we hope you can get involved.
Thank you. Elias, thank you for coming
Thank you very much.
We will put the website or whatever you have information to contact you. Maybe we'll list your phone number too if you don't mind, or a phone number where they could contact you. These are important. And I'm so glad you're doing this because Albion is a big section of town and we don't want it to be forgotten. A lot of families, and it's all about the families and the kids. So really appreciate you starting this. It's really great. Thank you, Elias.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Hello, Clifton and friends. Welcome to Meet Clifton and the updates. Well, lots have been going on during the summer, and we still have many events happening in the fall. So, with that being said, we have a second chance to see the Boys and Girls Club of Clifton, the Car, Truck, Motorcycle Show. The rain date was and is September 24th, Sunday. It's at 1255 Broad Street in Clifton. There will be music, DJ Nick at Night, and also Swingmen and the Misfit Mutts, but there's also food, vendors, lots of fun. So again, it's to benefit the fundraiser for the Boys and Girls Club of Clifton. It is the 10th annual fundraiser, so please do attend, and that is Sunday, September 24th. Then we also have October 28th, that Saturday, the Athenia Veterans Post will have their fundraiser. They're located on Huron Ave, and it's their Halloween party. It's a fundraiser for the music scholarship in memory of Matthew Grabowski, and it is $50 per person. There's a full dinner and music by Swingmen and the Misfit Mutts. So please consider going. Call the Athenia Veterans Post for tickets, and also bring your best costume and have loads of fun. Now, the Clifton Recreation Department are having lots of activities happening, and the first one would be Sunday, October 29th, and they are having an apple pie baking contest, and they're also having a scarecrow building contest. And this is in conjunction with their Halloween festivities. Again, it's October 29th. There'll be a parade that begins at 12:15 p.m. It'll run from Van Houten Avenue to the City Hall Municipal Complex, and thereafter will be all the events mentioned. So please definitely remember to participate in that. Have your children have a costume, go into the parade, and have a great time with all the activities. And whoever wants to bake a wonderful pie, there will be judges there, and you might win a great prize. Now, there's also an outside activity happening, Peddler's Village Apple Festival. That is going to be on November 4th, but please consider going. You need to get your reservations before October 27th. That's the last day you can do reservations. So please call 973-470-5956, and it's Peddler's Village Apple Festival. Now, an important one also is Salute to the Veterans. That is going to be Thursday, November 9th. Meals will be delivered to the Veterans Home between 4:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. And it's a free hot meal and small gift of appreciation. And it's open to veterans residing in Clifton only. We do appreciate all veterans, but this is specifically for Clifton. So please call 973-470-5956. Registration deadline is that Wednesday, November 8th, by the end of the business day. So again, it's a salute to the veterans. It's, something that they would like to do for all the veterans. We do appreciate your service, and thank goodness you are still with us and that you did survive that terrible time. And on a fun little note for little children, we have Music Together at the Clifton Arts Center. And it's nurturing your child's inner musician. There's 5 weekly classes beginning October 4th. So if you would like to enlist in that, please call Kim Ladiano, or you can call the Clifton Arts Center, make a reservation, and it's 973-472-5499. So you never know where your children will get their musical inspiration. It's for all ages from 6 months to 5 years. So it's open to all children. It's a good way to just bring out their natural talents, and hopefully they may be an aspiring musician or actor, actress in the future. So we do appreciate your attention. We do want to say thank you for all of the activities that you did attend during the summer months, and we look forward to you attending all of the fall adventures as well. So thank you again for tuning in, and we'll see you around town.
Okay, welcome back. With me tonight I have Kelly Ryan, who's an RN and a BSN, and she's the Director of Nursing. So we're here to talk about home care and people in need. So just explain a little bit, what is home care included?
Sure. Home care is a professional support service that allows a person to live safely in their home. Home care can be provided by home health aides, physical therapists, occupational therapists, nurses. It really kind of depends on the level of care that someone needs in their home.
Okay. And people always think of home health care as elderly, but we can focus on other groups, right? Ages, it's not really ages. So why would a younger person need home health care?
If a younger person has a disability, then they can have home health services who can come in and assist them with any kind of care that they might need. For example, if they had a tracheostomy or a G-tube or something that they needed nursing assistance with. So someone younger with a handicap might need it. Or if they had a surgery.
Right. And I mean, the word home care, could that also mean that someone is just elderly and just needs help?
Yeah.
Cooking or...
Yeah, that's funny that you asked that question, because I was in home care for about 6 months before I realized the difference. Home care and health care are 2 different specializations. Right. Home care is primarily home health aides, and they are helping with bathing, grooming, meal preparation, and home health care is any skilled service.
Right.
So, yes.
Okay, and we're talking about home care because I know a lot of people, they'll call me up and say, gee, I have an elderly parent and they need someone in the home. Does this would include overnight?
Yes, it does. Home care can be, they start at 4 to 5 hours, most agencies, but it goes all the way up to 24 hours, which could be 2 12 hours, right. Or live-in. And live-in is there every day for as long as they need assistance. And then sometimes if they take a break, another aide will come in and replace them so that they still have round-the-clock care.
Okay. Now, as always, money's a factor.
Yeah.
Now, does insurance or Medicare or Medicaid ever cover any of this?
For home health, yes. For home care, it's primarily private pay or long-term care insurance. Veterans benefits can cover it. Workers' compensation can cover it. And I think I said private pay already.
Yeah,
so
you
it would be out of pocket.
Okay, so, and this is another good question because some of the patients that are in there, especially around this area, language is a factor. So let's say they call your agency and they say, okay, I have someone that speaks Spanish or that speaks Polish or any language. Can you connect them with someone that can speak their language?
Yes.
Or do you try to?
We try to do that. And in this area, there mainly is home health aides are bilingual Spanish speaking.
Right.
So if you have a Spanish speaking need, that's an easy fit. If it's Ukrainian or Polish or some other ones, there are agencies that specialize in that, and our agencies generally will have translators,
Right.
so they can do it that way. But they'll try to match you with somebody that speaks the same language, if at all possible.
And here's another good question, I think. The people that work for an agency, what qualifications do they need for healthcare?
Yeah, certified home health aides are licensed by the Board of Nursing.
Okay.
They do a pretty intense background check on them, and then they have a course that's 70 hours, and then they have to pass a state license test, and then they have to renew that yearly, or it might be every 2 years, and they have to take like CU
Right.
classes like nurses do to keep accredited for them.
And so the person goes out, there's always liability issues.
Yeah.
Okay, so the worker goes into the house. Who's responsible for the liability? Obviously, an agency has to have liability insurance that covers the worker, right?
Yeah.
Does the worker have to have their own?
Does the worker have to? The insurance of the company
Right.
covers the aid and the any injuries that happened under workers' comp.
Because I'm sure that.
But if they break something in a client's home, if
Right.
you're talking about like
Yeah.
something like that, then the insurance of the company will cover the cost of whatever's broken to
Okay,
repair.
All right, so I have someone that needs home health care. So what's the process? Where does the person start?
They start by doing a little bit of research.
Okay.
Looking locally is always best. You always want to go with a local company because the people that work for the company will live most likely nearby. And you may have friends or family who have used them in the past. And then just do a little research with friends and family to see if they've
Sure.
used their services.
I guess you can Google things like this. Home
Yeah.
healthcare agencies.
Yeah,
and
Google
things like that.
Google reviews, and of course, if they're accredited, an accreditation body is a rigorous set of criteria that a reliable home care company has to go through every 2 years. Some are every year. CHAP is one of the accrediting bodies. ACHC is another accrediting body, and they go through every single process in the home care company to make sure that they're performing everything up to the standard that's for practical home care.
Okay, so it's a process.
Yeah.
And just probably the last question is, do you think that the need is greater now as years go on? Because years ago you didn't hear too much about healthcare except someone came home from the hospital. But it seems it's a growing industry.
It is.
I don't know.
It is. It's interesting that you asked that question. It's the direction of healthcare is home care because of a burgeoning society. There's so many people that can't, and as we know from going through COVID, be housed in a hospital or rehabilitation setting. And it really magnified that the need of home care is the direction of all healthcare. So it's a huge industry that's only growing.
Right, and I guess because, when you go to hospital, they want you out as quickly as possible.
Yes.
And,
They
when you come
plan
home,
for
you
discharge.
Right, you still need care.
Yes.
So, years ago it wasn't like that.
Yes.
Now you're out, and so I guess what you're saying, the need is growing
Tremendous.
and growing and growing. So,
Yeah.
and it's good information. I hope I don't need home care.
I
but,
do too.
but we'll see. But Kelly, thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
We'll be right back. Okay, so my next guest, actually my next two guests, Mr. Mark Gengaro, he's the Assistant Superintendent of Schools in Clifton Public Schools, and Chewbacca. Welcome to the show, Chewbacca. How are you? This Chewbacca is a district therapy dog, and I'm going to ask Mark if he could just tell us a little bit about Chewy while I give him a treat.
Sure, absolutely. So we are pleased to introduce Chewbacca, our first ever four-legged furry friend of Clifton Public School District, who serves in capacity as Clifton's first ever therapy dog. He provides a whole host of services for our students and staff members, including students who are in crisis. He serves as an incentive for student behavior modification plans. He's used as an incentive through our Positive Behavior Support in Schools PBSIS initiative, and as well as just being part of the everyday Clifton community. Just last weekend, Chewy joined me for the first Friday Night Lights experience, where he got to spend some time with the football players, the marching band, the cheerleaders, and of course the student section, who had no problems starting the Chewy, Chewy chant every time he walked by.
Mark, this Chewy's your dog, right?
Correct.
And where's he from? Because I don't even know what breed of dog this is.
So Chewy is a golden doodle. He was born and bred in Virginia through a breeder called Pride and Prejudoodles. We happen to get a kick out of the name of the company. So he is a hypoallergenic dog, which makes him the best suited for the needs of the most severe allergic students and staff members. Not to say that students and staff members can't be allergic to Chewy, but we decided if we're going to do this right, we want to be able to service as many students and staff members as possible. So Chewy spent the first 3 months of his life once he was separated from his litter because he identified and demonstrated the necessary qualifications and characteristics and demeanor for a dog that goes into service. So he spent those first 3 months with a professional trainer. Once he passed the therapy dog training for puppies, both Chewy and the trainer came to New Jersey for a few days, where I went and underwent some of the therapy dog training to make sure that I would be an appropriate handler for him to take into schools.
So he's going to start with the Clifton School District, right?
Correct.
As a therapy dog, and obviously he lives with you, so you take care of him day to day. And
Yes.
this is your dog. So how are we going to utilize him in the schools?
So he's used for a whole host of purposes. As I said before, the number one thing is just to bring joy to our students. Right now, it's only been 2 weeks since we've been back in school for the 2023 school year. So what I'll do is sometimes his commands are based on leash pressure. So I lift it up, he will sit down.
Oh, nice.
So we are currently using him, as we said earlier, for incentivizing students through our PBSIS program. But his number one function is to work with students who are demonstrating stresses. So for example, right now he's worked himself into a behavior modification plan for students who are right now experiencing some school phobia and are hesitant to come into school. So Chewy will meet our students outside of school and escort them inside the building right to their first class. And if the students follow their behavior modification plan, Chewy always makes that end of the week surprise last visit for whether it be a lunch, some time at recess, or even just sitting in class with the students who have earned the privilege of spending some what we call Chewy time.
So far, when did you start with the dog?
So we started with Chewy on July 11th this summer. He came to New Jersey, where I underwent several days of training with Chewy and his professional trainer. He started coming into School 6, the administrative building, upon arrival. The purpose of that was to begin socialization, getting him used to buildings. Throughout the course of the summer, while our buildings were vacant for the summer break and the summer recess, we got a chance to tour all buildings just to get him acclimated with what the school setting looks like. We were able to utilize him over the summer with some of our special needs programs. as well as at our Clifton Welcome Center when we had some students who were demonstrating some challenging behaviors. One rare instance, there was a 4-year-old student registering who qualifies for special services as a nonverbal autistic child. And the staff was having a challenging time keeping this young man at bay within our Welcome Center. And sure enough, we put Chewy's services to the test, and within seconds, this young man, myself and Chewy were rolling around on the floor, going through his commands, petting him, giving him treats and things of that nature. So it definitely pays dividends, the hard work that we've put into him.
So what, obviously the reaction has been very positive, right?
Absolutely.
The kids must love them because the adults do. How'd you come up with this idea, just for my own curiosity?
So that's a very interesting question. And this is an idea that we had come up with many, many years ago, where I was in charge of the PBSIS program over at Clifton. And at the time, we were looking to find some ways to incentivize our students to come up with that idea that not many other people are doing. As we were doing some research about the merit and the value and the benefits of having therapy animals, we figured, why not? Let's give this a shot. And as far as the reaction for students and staff, it's ear-to-ear smiles wherever we go. In fact, when we enter the classroom right now as the assistant superintendent of schools, I walk into a classroom and usually the introduction is, my name is Mr. Gengaro, but I know nobody cares about that at this moment because everybody cares about who this dude is.
So do you think the future of therapy dogs in Clifton, but other towns, you think there's a big future for this?
Absolutely. In fact, right now, there are several other districts in the state that utilize therapy dog services. What we're looking for, when you assume a leadership position, as you yourself would know, as the mayor of this wonderful city, is you have to have vision. So the vision for the therapy dog initiative at this point is to see the merit and value and the benefit of having just one. In a perfect world, what we're looking to do is partner with a group called Air Therapy Dog Training. What this group does is they specialize in training therapy dogs for schools, how to work with students with disabilities who may be in a wheelchair, how to properly enter an elevator, and what to do in the event of a lockdown or an emergency situation. So what we're looking to do is see what the success is with just Chewy for the next couple months, and then make that pitch to the Board of Education about the need to grow this program. As much as I love being the handler for Chewy, I also know that it does pull me in multiple directions. Having to help run and oversee a school district, but on the drop of the dime have to be called to service a student or staff member in crisis. So we're looking to expand what we call the army of therapy dogs in the near future, so the full burden doesn't solely lie on myself and, of course, our boy Chewy here.
This is great because it's something like a therapy dog could help some students, even one. It's worth it for them to acclimate themselves to the discomforts of school or anything. You know, and mental health is a big issue, and this is a good future for this. So I appreciate you coming on and
It's an absolute pleasure, Mr. Mayor.
Chewy, thank you for coming on. And he's well behaved.
He is extremely well behaved, and again, that's the training. He actually just prefers being on the floor. Everything for Chewy is going to be leash command. If you pull up on the leash, it's his cue to sit.
Nice.
And once he's in that situation, again, I know that good boy sitting. It's always about that positive reinforcement,
Sure.
whether you're working with a student or a therapy animal, or an adult in a relationship. So right now we got to the point where we got him to be able to shake our hands if we want to. But when we're working with our 3- and 4-year-old population, sometimes he's already taller than them. So the best time to work with students is when we get down onto the ground and we just kind of wait here at this point. And once he's down and calm, you always keep that leash control and he stays in this welcoming, submissive position and just allows for students to pet and play at will. And that's pretty much how it works at that point. And there hasn't been a single student or staff member, when you ask the question, who wants Chewy to come back? It's sometimes two thumbs up, jumping out of their chairs with excitement. But who wouldn't? He looks like a giant stuffed animal.
I know he does. I appreciate it, but thank you for your time.
No, thank you for having us.
No, it's okay. Thank you. We'll be right back. So that's our show for tonight. I hope you'll enjoy all the guests we've had. I'd like to thank my co-host George for helping me out tonight. But in the meantime, be good to your friends and family, respect your neighbors, keep Clifton close to your heart. This is a great city. Thank you, God bless, and good night.